So you got to be honest, the sun has been shining for quite a while now, hasn't it? And it's been doing us the world of goods, and temperatures are on the ups. Everything is all looking fine dandy. Daffodils are out, early shrubs are showing signs of sprouting, and there's even blossom on the trees. It's spring for sure on the way, and we're going to have a nice time with some good double figure temperatures going to bless us over the next few days. The weather wise does look going a little bit unsettled. We'll have a look in a moment of that with the jet stream. But have you been taking advantage of the night skies, the clear night skies where the planets have been on display, especially Jupiter, and a great display of the moon as regards the blood moon, and we had the eclipse as well, and Mars is still high up in the sky as well for you to look at. And to take advantage of that, I got my son a telescope, his first telescope, very similar to what I had when I was a kid, and we were able to view Jupiter and its 4 Galilean moons, and of course we saw Mars, the Pleiades, and a few other things as well. I showed him how to safely view sunspots by using a telescope. Obviously you can't look at it directly, by using a piece of card or paper, and we could clearly see the sunspots there radiating away, which indicates that the sun is still quite active, hence why especially last year we had a lot of the northern lights to be seen. Absolute display, keeping your eyes to the sky as it was, of what we had to see and what was on offer for us all to enjoy. There is talk in the background with the Weather Fans team of potential slight chance of some thunderstorms, or at least thundery downpours yet to come. Now, just very briefly before we do the outlook, we've got a La Niña event at the moment. You must be familiar with the word El Nino. We're currently in La Niña. It's starting to weaken, which means we're going to a neutral phase. Traditionally, when we come out of a La Niña into a neutral phase, normally it gives us below average temperatures. Now they reckon that phase going into neutral will happen maybe the end of March going into April, but they think La Niña will come back into play rather than El Nino. Getting it all confused myself. Now, before we do the outlook, I wanted to get up a few different variants of weather models. I said to you before that there are different weather models that forecast the weather. Quite commonly, I'll look at the GFS and the ECM, the European model. I will also use the UK Met Office. There's the French one as well, and I think it's important for me to show you at this stage of how similar, but there is traits of differences between the models. And looking at the weather models, we're going to start off with the GFS. All these weather models are valid from today, Wednesday 19th at 12 o'clock, and you can see the differences between them. They are similar, but there is differences between them, and will depict certain things, like for instance the low pressure that's just off the south east coast of Greenland as 996. We've got a low pressure down in the North Atlantic, which is away from Portugal. We've got a low pressure there of 995. High pressure centered over Eastern Europe, 1033, which is what's bringing the colder air. These, by the way, the blues and the greens are the temperatures. You've got your warmer temperatures down here, and then obviously these blobby bits are your rain or your snow or your freezing rain or whatever's yet to be seen. Heavy rain indicated by the yellows on these maps here. Now with the low pressure system, which goes in an anti-clockwise direction because it's cyclonic, you can clearly see the arm of the rain there, which is wafting itself across Portugal as we speak, just about to bring itself onto the shores. Now, is that low pressure going to influence our weather? I think very much so. It could do indeed, but that's the GFS. If we flick to the ECM, the European model, you can if you just quickly look, you can see they're very, very similar. So if the GFS was showing 996 for this low pressure here, it's 997. That's what it's reading. It's bearing its reading. It slightly changes its position, but this is the ECM model, but it's basically saying the same. We've got high pressure Eastern Europe, way east, over in the east there, Moscow, Greece, all that sort of area there, nice areas. We've got the wiggly yellow line here, which tends to indicate the cut-off point between the mild air and the cold air. You find the jet stream hunting around in that area sometimes, which we will look at a bit later on. You've got the green areas here for your temperatures, the yellows again, so it's all very similar what I described before. This is the Met Office, the good old Met Office. Slightly more colourful than the others, so you need to get your head a little bit more around that. But again, it's got the low pressure here of 999, low pressure also up here, the emergency services, low pressure of 999 here with the rain bands going off towards Iceland, showing it's cold in the central areas of Iceland. However, in the United Kingdom, we've got that milder air that's sort of bringing itself in, obviously cool a little bit further north. It's still showing high pressure in Eastern Europe. This is the French one, which is similar colours to the GFS and the ECM. Again, it's showing the showers, maybe a little bit heavier. It's keen. The French one tends to show precipitation a little bit keener, I've noticed, especially when it comes to snow. Weather Paul was also talking about that. You've got the high pressure, low pressures and low pressures, 993, 994. So that was just an experiment to show you guys what the difference is and what we do as amateur meteorologists and professionals as well, I suppose, looking at the weather models to see variance and then working out the average in your head. Obviously some weather models are more keen to show certain parameters than others because that's what they're used to, and others may have a bit of a wobble where they throw something out completely random compared to the other ones, and that's either it's catching up because there's something that's come in, an anomaly that maybe has come in, or some data that's come in that's upset it, or it could be actually true. There could be something coming and the others need to catch up. It is like playing a game when it comes down to doing weather models. So I'm not going to go into that too much. I just wanted to show you very much so as regards what the weather models look like. Overview wise, we'll go to the GFS on this one today. Thanks to the Met chaps and chaperesses for letting us use these charts. Links in the description area down below. We can see, as I explained before, the high pressures Eastern Europe, low pressure which is off the coast of Portugal, Iberia, Spain. So we're going to move along now. This is 6 o'clock this evening. The low pressure actually goes into a bit of a trinity system here, doesn't it? We've got 3 low pressures that are spawned from this. I'm assuming this is because of the collection and accumulation of the mass that's available in them areas. I was going to say I suggest that one of them or maybe 2 of them might actually fall out of favour and we end up back with 1. We've got 2 there. Oh yeah, it's back to 1, so it doesn't, yeah, that's what we're looking at. But it is creeping up a little bit further north than we anticipated. Now look over south of Iceland from that low pressure, that 982, a bit of a storm system there from Greenland. That is sending these rain showers down. This is Thursday, 20th of March at 6 o'clock in the evening. We've got there, yeah, it's gone on the slow. There we go, so it's bringing itself in. These showers down here are now connected along with this low pressure system, which they will interact with each other and maybe push that low system further into Spain, which it is doing now, Friday 21st, midday, 6 o'clock. So it does look like that low pressure, as expected, is pushing itself north, Bay of Biscay. Is it going to go any further north? Let's just have a little look. We're on Saturday 22nd of March at midday. It's going into France now, but we can clearly see that these rain showers are bringing themselves into the country with those milder temperatures that are available. Oh, the low system, right, goes straight off France into Germany, across the English Channel, and this also introduces some colder air. It pulls down some colder air into the north, into Scotland there. Something to watch out maybe. Low pressure system obviously going to have a bit of an effect over the weekend, Saturday 23rd of March. It's not very fast, it's slow moving, aren't they? They're not exactly in a busy mood to get anywhere. We've still got high pressure. This is Monday now at midnight out in the North Atlantic. We've still got some showers that's coming all the way down from this low pressure, and this is all connecting all the way down there as they bring themselves across the country midday on Monday, bringing in some colder temperatures Monday 24th of March at 6 o'clock, and then that band of rain then makes its way across Europe before it dissipates in through sort of areas of Italy. We've got some fresh band of so it looks like to me that the Atlantic's waking up a little bit. There's going to be a break in the weather. We've got some showers and rain to come in. But if you notice here this is Wednesday 26th of March at 6 o'clock in the evening, we do have high pressure that wants to build itself across parts of Europe, France, Germany, Poland, into southern Britain, trying to influence itself across this area here. Big high pressure that's still sat in the Atlantic, that's been there for quite a while. Them showers are coming across now into next weekend. Yeah, looks like a bit of a showery situation as them low pressures win overall. Getting a little bit carried away into the future, so obviously I don't want to get confused with what's going on there. So what we'll do is now we're going to look at the winds. So we'll have a little gander at how we're doing as regards to winds over this period of time. Well, as we said before, that point in time being today, when I film this at lunchtime on Wednesday, we've got them winds that are arcing themselves off that low pressure. That low pressure splits itself into 3, then into 2, then back to 1. But it brings itself, or if you remember watching it before, eventually it does bring itself across the United Kingdom, doesn't it, up through the English Channel. So it looks like a breezier situation that could potentially happen, a windier situation over the weekend. So not only wet but also breezy and windy, but there will be interludes of sunshine coming through there as well. That low pressure getting close to Scotland on Monday, so we've got some gusty winds to be expected here actually off the west coast of Scotland, 60 to 60 miles an hour. I wouldn't be surprised, mate, if this carries on showing that Monday, that you might get a bit of a weather warning from the Met Office. It's definitely worth one to watch up there in the Highlands and northern Scotland. That system moves out before we have that sort of break in the weather by mid-week. Next week has been cold at night. I think while I was looking on Twitter, Shap got down to minus 6.8 to minus 6.8 last night. This was posted on the 18th of March from BBC Weather. Frosty start for many of us, are saying that we've got temperatures down to minus 8, Newcastle minus 5, Enniskillen 4 degrees. So it does show and prove that there's still quite some cold air that's yet to be had for us, although that warmer temperatures during the day is trying to punch itself through. And you can tell that by looking at the chart here, which has got the blues, especially at night. Now this is Thursday 20th at midday. Look at those temperatures. Very respectable temperatures. We've got a little bit of hints of red coming in here. Now I know down here it's saying about 20 degrees. I don't think you'll see 20 because of the ground is still being quite cold at night. If it is, it'll be very short-lived. There's pockets coming up through the Midlands, Staffordshire, even into Lancashire, going over to Lincolnshire, South Yorkshire. We're going over to the east, southeast of the country as well. So there's little random pockets. There's no swathe of warmth that's coming into the country like as you would see in like France, for instance. I think you'll definitely see 20s in France. This is tomorrow. Them temperatures fade. The blues come back in from the north into Scotland, but then on Friday midday again, possibly 20s. I'm going to be comfortable and say, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised Friday if you're looking at 17 degrees. Now, listen, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Go with it if I was you. It'd be interesting to see if the temperatures get any warmer than that. But there is definitely a buckle going on here with the warm temperatures in France. They're moving further east as this low pressure is coming in. Let's have a look for Saturday. Does it go even warmer? No, it's that low pressure's pushed them warmer winds as warmer temperatures, which remember cyclonic coming up here. Well, now obviously the centre area here has brought some fresher, cooler temperatures in as we go into Sunday. The cold introduced itself into northern Scotland and into Ireland because of the way the low pressure's brought itself in. It's dragging the colder air down into this area, and as that low pressure moves across, I wouldn't be surprised if we see pockets of colder temperatures, which we can now, can't we, on Monday 6 o'clock in the morning. It's sort of transitioned from Ireland now into United Kingdom. I think this is more the prone areas of the country, Scotland, England and Wales, of course, we're talking about, where you're going to see those colder temperatures. So stay tuned to your official weather channels. Some deeper blues coming on Tuesday, right? Okay, because of this low pressure here. So just remember that, again, what I've said, it's cyclonic, so the winds will come down from the north. They go anti-clockwise, so you can see the way that these winds go across here. So as they dip down here and scoot along here, this area will drag up some of the more warm air. There's not much to be had at the moment down here, unlike if this low pressure was further west. But what it will do is it will drag the temperatures, the cold air, along this stretch here across United Kingdom, which you can see it's catching it into Scotland, Cumbria on the east, and then the Welsh mountains, and of course Northern Ireland and parts of Eastern Ireland as well. So that's a good indicator to see what's going on as regards that low pressure. It's interesting, actually. It's a good example to show you how the air temperatures affect the land. Bear in mind we're talking 2 meters off the ground here, by that low pressure, and that low pressure is way up into Norway, now in 8.1, so it's having quite a big effect on United Kingdom. A bit like if you took something out of the freezer, I suppose, and you put it close towards a glass of water, and you'll see the condensation occurring there. Crap example, but you get the book of it, don't you? So we'll go along with that. Moving on briefly, and then into Wednesday. This is a midday Wednesday, so it's quite cold widespread cold to be had on Wednesday. I'm not too sure if we'll see much in the way of deep ground frost. Again, we'll have to have a little look at that later on in the week, only because it's not a massive swathe of blue in the waters, and all the waters will be warmer, and we've got this warmer air that's hanging out here. I'm not too sure how that's going to interact. That'll be an interesting one to watch. As regards fog or frost, anything foggy wise probably will get shifted out the way. You won't get much of that in theory. I'm yet to be proven wrong. High pressure out here. This is next Friday. This is over a week away. Looks like it wants to bring itself in and have an influence on the country. So next week does look like it's going to go a whole lot colder and more unsettled than what we've been having recently. Snow wise, I know, because the snow lovers are still out there somewhere. Hello. I don't think you're going to see anything at all. Maybe next week when it goes a bit colder. Yeah, okay. You've got some, again, it's the usual areas of Scotland. Nothing to get excited about. If you want some snow, you have to go down to the French Alps or the Italian Swiss Alps area there to get yourself some. They've got some decent snow in them sort of areas. But of course you will, because it's up in the Alps. A lot of places there, like 6,000 foot in the air. Storm risk wise, this is what I'm interested in. We were talking about this before, and we'll have a look at the jet stream in a moment as well. I'm trying to make this video as easy and simple as possible for you. So we've got little pockets that are springing up. This is Thursday, 6 o'clock in the morning. Slight risk there in the south of the country, just south of London, Hastings, that sort of area. What we are, Manchester. It's difficult to see on here going over the Cheshire Gap, is it? That sort of area. That's 6 o'clock tomorrow in the evening. We've got these little pockets here, which are obviously from that low pressure that we were looking at before, wanting to push that risk for Saturday. And this is in the morning, and then it increases quite well actually on Saturday 6 o'clock. Bear in mind that the storm risk will last a bit later now, purely because 1, the clocks change, and 2, the sun goes down a lot later. I mean, it won't be until October now, until the sun sets before October 21st, is it? Sunset before 6 o'clock in the evening, off the top of my nut. And the sun's quite far round now, setting. It is for Blackpool, where we can see it setting over the Irish Sea. It goes off into midnight, I think there's more of a showers, heavy showers, that's the rain coming in, than seeing any flashy boom booms. Hashtag storm chaser Paul. And then that dissipates completely. That low pressure system that comes in across Scotland, which could bring some gales. Obviously there's a risk there as well. Also encompasses some thunder snow, so that's definitely one to watch. There's a chance there we could have some thunderstorm risk. Definitely a sparky event going on. Very quickly, the wind direction coming from the south, that low pressure, keep an eye on it down there, just off the coast of Spain and Portugal, moving its way into the United Kingdom. The winds stop coming from the east. This is on Saturday, so it could take the edge. That's what I was saying before. I don't think you'll see 20s. If that easterly wind is there, it will take the edge off it. If you're in a sheltered spot and you get the sun coming down on you, it will feel quite nice, but that easterly wind is definitely going to take the edge off those temperatures. And then the winds seem to come from the north. Bit of a mixed bag there. Very messy situation before they come from the west again. This is probably because of this low pressure that's influencing that. And then we're going off into Tuesday, way past the weekend now, into Wednesday. More of a westerly flow and southerly flow of wind. So it confirms what we said before as regards a chillier event yet to come. Now we're going to look at the jet stream, which is way up in the atmosphere, so the winds up there are a whole lot faster than what they are down on Earth. Down on the ground. When the jet stream is more linear, it tends to be more forceful, more stronger. There is a hint of the windier situation kicking in. It's very fragmented at the moment, the jet stream. It's all over the place. There's no uniform wind direction that's coming from at the moment. Wow, you can see now this is Friday. There is some sort of uniformication that's forming from the jet stream. It's still dipping down quite far, isn't it? And then flicking itself back off into Spain and southern France, which could bring some very blizzardy conditions actually in the Alps. Looking at that with the strong winds, it dissipates. This is going off into the weekend. Sunday crosses over. You've got that bit there. That's Monday. That's the gales that are coming into Scotland. So that all collaborates. That makes absolute pure sense. Then winds are coming from Greenland, northern Greenland, from America, Canada, all the way through Iceland, and then flicking itself into northern Scotland. So you've got some second-hand winds there coming in, and that sort of swipes across the country. A little deeper area there. This is Tuesday 25th now, and then the jet stream is pretty much gone. There's nothing there at all. There's nothing there Wednesday, a week from now, at tea time, and it is tea time. 6 o'clock. There's nothing there. There's a big void of nothingness before it brings itself back in. This is now for Friday the 28th of March, where it seems to have a bit of an influence on our weather again, flicking itself in like a very angry snake that didn't get his dinner. That's Sunday the 30th of March, so we have gone a little bit further ahead than what I anticipated. So again, there's nothing major at the moment. Keep your eyes to the skies as regards potential thunderstorms at any point. I would really suggest Thursday, Friday into Saturday. We've got gales coming across northern Scotland at the beginning of next week. Cold nights, warm days. You've got a massive contrast change of temperature that's going on, which should have a good effect as regards the potential for some storms, because there's big changes in temperature, create convection. We've got the moisture coming in. The moisture levels are higher than normal, so it's all there. It's just all there in theory, maybe to see something. It's a bit early for me to start saying anything just yet. I need to see a bit more evidence yet, but I think I'm going to have my batteries charged and have myself ready around Friday and Saturday to see what we can do. If you do get any content as regards to weather, it doesn't have to be extreme, then you can share it with us all on our Facebook page, which is Weather Fans, where we're all hiding on there, posting our content and having a good chat and chin wag. What I might do is, if there's nothing spicy or juicy to report next week, might not do a video. What I might do is I might wait now until we get something coming up. I know I've done quite a few Outlook videos in anticipation to see something, but nothing is happening at the moment. So if you don't hear from me next week, don't worry. Don't forget, I will be coming definitely back on if something does crop up, so you know it's definitely worth tuning in. I do really appreciate everybody watching these videos that I've been doing recently since Storm Irwin anyway. It really does mean a lot to me. If you want some more Nodrog, there's obviously the normal Nodrog channel. If you like paranormal and exploration, there's loads of content on there. I'm hoping to get myself back out soon to add some stuff to that channel. Otherwise, it is a case of just sitting down, holding on tight for the weather to kick off, and be able to provide some content as regards some storms. I'm going to do my best to get some good content for you this year. Don't forget that we've got merchandise as well. You can buy t-shirts and the like from visiting nodrog.uk on the support page. Other than that, God bless you all. Have a fantastic weekend yet to come, and keep your eyes to the skies. Ta-ra.